What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Kelis is trending again. Unfortunately, it's not because of her music. It's not because of anything like that, because Kelis is not really a good artist. The last time I heard about Kelis, who is, quite popular still in Africa. She was here in Uganda. It made big news. Maybe about last month, she came to Kenya. She even follows our podcast called Kinganda. So shout out to Kelis for that. And, I think that maybe she's a nice person and everything like that all overall. But definitely, most likely, a few screws are loose. Why do I say that? Because something is sort of wrong with Kelis, okay? She's not all the way there. Now, I don't know what necessarily went down with her and Nas when they were married, okay? She alleges some level of abuse and things that he did. From what I understand, Brother Nas never talked about that. He never speaks on her. She divorced him and he moved on with his life. And it's very interesting the way that Nas handled it, because after moving on with his life, he then did very well after leaving Kelis. See, that's the thing that we're not talking about. He did very well, extremely well, after leaving Kelis. However, the same cannot necessarily be said about her. After dealing with Nas, depending on how you want to see it, or how you want to say it, she ended up marrying either her photographer or a photographer, a younger man by the name of Mike Mora. They moved to Southern California, had some children, and unfortunately for the young man, he passed away. I believe he died of some form of stomach cancer. Then Kelis returned back to the streets of Instagram, thirst trapping. She got maybe a little bit of a BBL. She's trying to get some attention. There was a big mess. She got into a car accident and was then wrecked on the side of the road out there in Big Bear Lake, it seems. And she got out the car and was trying to model her new clothes, just looking very disoriented and not all the way there. And I was like, when I saw that video, I'm like, oh my God, something is wrong with Kelis. Like, she has a problem. And then we have this situation with Nas. Now, what's going on now? So again, people are always going to be on Instagram and things like that. And somebody put up a post of Nas and Kelis, y'all need to double back, give love another chance. Blessings. Okay? So this was the photo that was there. And to be honest, they both still look very similar. Kelis still looks good. Brother Nas is strong. Okay? And she says this: stop. It was 15 years ago. Do you want your ex from almost 2 decades ago? So somebody responds and says, give Nas his bread back. She goes, LOL, he owes me. Actually, get out of here. Only a loser is worried about someone else's money. LOL, please. This is claiming that Nas did not pay any child support or things like that. So let me kind of discuss this, because it's very interesting, okay? One of the things I understand about men in the celebrity world, they are forced to be classy when their wives or ex-wives are not. Let's look at Corey Hardrick. Tia Mowry has to be the most immature lady on planet Earth. She has done everything in her formidable power to castigate this man by taking her little pot shots. She's done tremendous things to be, in my honest opinion, an asshole towards the guy. The guy won't disrespect her, okay? Me personally, I don't know how much I could take, but he has a lot of intestinal fortitude, and maybe because he understands if he does clap back at her, that's going to be very costly in the entertainment industry, so he doesn't. Same thing as Nas. Nas does not respond to Kelis at all, despite her negative claims about him, and how she doesn't want him, and everything else. She talks about how he owes money and things that she should not even respond to as an adult. But the reality is this, and we can't get around it. I'm not saying that he's perfect and he's not at fault. One thing we do know is Nas did financially better without you, right? This is the case. Without you, Nas did better. He became richer. He became more focused, which meant that, in my honest opinion, you had nothing to offer the man. And we need to look at it as this, because we always talk about who is the prize in the relationship, as the man or the woman. And I think we're in a gender neutral era now. Then we need to talk about who really is the prize in the relationship. The person that brings the best or most optimal life change, okay? Usually this is gonna be financially and socially. That's what we're looking for, right? Now, I would say if he's a good person or if she's a good person, all of that. But if this person brings your life to another level financially, if this person has the ability to change things for you in ways that you cannot, in that relationship, that person's the prize. What we saw with Nas and Kelis is clearly it was not her. Because if she had been like that, somebody would have wanted her on the same level of Nas. And clearly, that wasn't the case. You know, a lot of these ladies out there, if they're really good women, if they're really great women, if they can occupy a rich man's time, you know what? We've seen that with Russell Wilson. Somebody will come and get you. Look at Sierra. Somebody will come and get you. If you're a woman out there and some man feels like you can add to his life, money is not an option. Clearly, nobody thinks, at least in the long term, that Kelis adds a lot of value to my life. No one feels like that. And let me tell you something. Unfortunately, a lot of men are feeling like that towards a certain portion of ladies. That's just what we see. We see the marriage dates decreasing, okay? And we're seeing ladies who are very beautiful and, you know, should be considered affluent. They're being forced to marry guys almost with nothing. Like, look at Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer is so beautiful. Beautiful young lady, albeit raised by a woman like that, okay? Who I honestly think that's a cancer in itself, but whatever. Beautiful lady, extremely talented. You end up with a guy like Jarius Jackson. How then do you end up with a guy like Jarius Jackson? That I want to know. We all would like to know. How does it happen? Or Darius Jackson? Well, it happens because on the dating scale, by looking at your behavior and looking at your values, it doesn't tie up with a man that says, I want that person around me in my life. Now, we can't say that about her physically, because I think that she's attractive enough that somebody with money, black or white, could say Keke Palmer is worth dealing with, like, just by looking at her. The way she looks at the world, no, we can't have that in our life at all. We don't want that. That's something that we want. We don't want it, we don't desire it. End of story, okay? End of story. We don't want it, we don't desire it, we don't like it. There is no way we're putting up with it. That is what I'm saying here. And we can talk about it, we can get mad about it, we can be upset about it, but this is the truth. Quite largely, this is the truth. And once it goes down and it happens like this, you know, there's always some bitterness towards women, towards men, because, okay, you had a guy, it didn't work out, then the next guys you go to are not like the same guy. I'm talking about Tia Mowry, because she can't even get a guy like Corey Hardrick. I'm talking about you, Vivica Fox. I'm talking about you, Keke Palmer. And we're talking about you now. Kelis, you're blaming Nas. You should be quiet about that. It's over. But the reality is, if you were a great catch right now, you would have somebody else. You don't. Nobody wakes up in the morning saying, I want Kelis. Nobody says that. Clearly somebody woke up in the morning saying, I want Sierra, but not Kelis. Well, why is that? Well, we can't say it's because of your looks. Because Kelis is nice looking. But nobody wants to put up with the attitude that they feel largely is dysfunctional. Not in a relationship. No man's gonna put up with that shit. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Which, for all you just heard a bell, we're out.